Activity 2.2, number 2, second part. Time for us to do some interior edges so that we can see the interior faces, and then we'll delineate with pen. Just like the last one, we have the same object, it has the same characteristics about it. It's just that instead of having the front view and left view and top view, what we have is a top, front, right, and we've already delineated the surface faces for those. Now what we have to do is wind up with our interior edges. Now I think the best place to start for this would be with the top face. That's this one that's on the interior. This top face is easiest because I can start from this point and connect some lines together. But there is also the option of simply dropping in all my vertical lines first, then dropping in all my horizontal, my width lines that need to be dropped in and all my depth lines. So, since I haven't shown you that on the first one, and I showed you how I would go through the process of it, I'm going to show you the other way of doing this, where I just drop in all my vertical lines, drop in my width, and drop in my depth, and see if my lines match up. Remember, these are going to be construction lines, and they won't necessarily always fall on the same grid lines as what's on the surface face. The problem with doing this, in my opinion, is that you're not 100% sure how long to make the lines, and you do wind up making the lines probably a bit longer than you need them to be, but it's not that bad because you do have the option of erasing construction lines much easier than erasing delineated tonal shaded lines, or delineated object lines. There's my vertical lines that are needed. Here are my width lines that are left. Yeah, I like that spot. This one's tricky. It actually comes from this point right here. The other issue that I really see with this is I wind up with so many lines that it's really hard for me to tell where certain things are. But for some students, this does work better. Alright, so I have this line, I have this line, and one more that's going to start from, let's see, 1-2 units from the left, right here, and we will take it right back to this point. See how this goes. Yeah, pretty spot on right there. And pretty close to being spot on right about there. And then this line I think could come back up just a touch. Let's go right here. Yeah, that's better. I hit my mark a little bit better here by doing that. It does make that line a little thick, and it'll look that way in the video, but in reality it is a couple of lines all drawn right there. So try your best with that, but at this point I do have all the lines that I need as my interior edges. I now just need to delineate them. The trick with that is knowing where they start and stop, making sure that I'm still lined up with my vanishing point over here. It stops there. This one starts here and stops here. Start and stop. And I'll go with my depth lines now. This one starts here and stops there. This one starts here and stops right there. And then my height lines here, here, and here. Notice those two edges did not line up with each other. And notice that these points all connected at the correct spots. I then go in with my pen and do my delineation in pen. Start with my vertical lines. This is an option. You don't have to do this, but it does help me, so I like it. Sometimes can make the sketch look a little less clean, so you do need to consider that, especially if you are a bit messy with a pen, or if you miss your marks slightly. So that can be an issue, but I think that the benefits outweigh the negatives. Width lines. I am going back and forth quite a few times because my pen doesn't want to write over the top of the pencil very well, and that way it gets the ink really flowing. I think I've hit all of my lines needed, and at this point what I would want to do is erase all of these. Now I'm going to use a big eraser for this, and I'm going to do it off camera, so this video is a little shorter for you. But when we come back, you'll see that I have this video or this outline completely done. Alright, so there I've erased all of it, and it's looking pretty good. I got a couple of spots that I probably would need to come back and touch up just a bit, maybe here, this corner. Just make sure that these lines do all touch at the corner. Maybe right here as well. Other than that, I'm pretty comfortable with this. I do like it. I feel like I've hit most of my marks at a very precise point. So all that's left now is to set up the tonal shading. Find that in the third video.